What's going on, everyone? Money Man Jeff here. Today I'm with one of my students, Vusal. Thank you for coming on today. How are you?
Fantastic, Jeff. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm glad that you're sharing your success with everyone who tuned in today. I was pretty happy for you when you were texting me the bunch of phones you were picking up and sharing your experience with me
Yeah.
since you bought the course pretty much the other day and then immediately started seeing success. So I was like, whoa, this guy's building momentum quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that experience and ask you a few questions. And hopefully, your experience, motivates someone to make that change because this is something that benefits anyone. If you're having financial difficulties and you want to add an extra source of income, this is a great way. You're not going to get rich off phone flipping, but definitely be a great way to make some extra income. So before you got involved with phone flipping, what was your main source of income? What was your day job like? What were you doing?
My day job was a sales job. I was working at this business loan debt restructuring company.
Okay, and roughly how many hours of work were you putting in a week over there?
45 hours a week from 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night, not counting transit.
And
So
you
it
were
was
in
like,
you were in a cubicle, something like cubicle making calls all day.
yeah, something like that. Nothing glorious, nothing fancy.
Oh man. And then you said the transit rides, going commuting there and back. I mean, rush hour and everything must added another few hours to your day.
Yeah.
So in that 45-hour work week, how much were you pulling in a week? How much were you earning if you don't mind me asking such an intrusive question?
No, no, not at all. I was making 500 a week.
Okay, 500, 2K a month,
Yeah.
spending, every single day in there pretty much working for someone else. Okay. I mean, this is why we all got into phone flip. I was in the same thing too. I was making $300 a week, like I tell everyone, when I was an assistant for my dad, who was a construction, subcontractor. And I tell you, I was making $300 a week at 22, 23. I hated my life because everyone else was graduating college and making money. And here I'm making pennies. So I definitely feel what it is to make nothing every week. But anyways,
Right.
what inspired you to get involved with phone flipping?
So this is actually a very interesting story that I don't think a lot of people hear, but pretty much, so one of the weekends I had this urgent bill that came in out of nowhere and I needed the money quick, right? So basically I go on Craigslist and I find this gig. It was for an e-waste company. And what the job consisted of was going around to all of these different buildings like CNN and Hilton Hotel, and we would collect their old electronics like monitors and laptops and stuff. And lo and behold, uh, on that day, I came across these old MacBook laptops and a couple of older modeled iPhones. So then I basically I take them home, and I figured, hey, why not just put them up on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and see what happens? I have never used Facebook or OfferUp in my life before. So then I put these up and I think nothing of it, right? I mute the phone, I go to sleep. When I wake up, the first thing I check, I have like a million messages. I kept scrolling because I remember I kept scrolling and it wouldn't finish. Oh my God, cash now, 500, 600, 700. And then I'm like, what? So then I started texting these people. Within 30 minutes, I sold everything. So I put it as a bundle. I sold everything for 500 cash. And I remember at the meetup, after the seller left, I looked at the cash and I thought, what? I just made what I make in my day job for 50 hours a week in like 30 minutes. So then I figured, wait. And then I started analyzing it. Why did that work so well? Well, because the thing that I was selling is of the biggest company on the planet, Apple. I don't have to advertise it. I don't have to explain to people what it does. It's revolutionary. Everybody from Wall Street on New York City all the way to Beijing in China and Indonesia knows what iPhone and Apple is. So then I figured, there must be a way that I can somehow get my hands on these products, buy them for cheap, sell them for high. So then I started Googling and I came across one of your videos, turning $400 into 10K. And then when I saw that, I thought, no way, this is just another one of those clickbait thumbnail things with the guy and his phones and the cash. So then I looked at the video and it actually was pretty valuable. Like the things that you were saying was making sense to me. And then I booked a free call with you, and then you know the money road just started from there on.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Especially because you were excited. You were texting me every day. Yo, I'm about to go meet up with this person. I was like, damn, man, he's really killing it. Because I mean, that fires me up because I remember how it was for me when I first started. I remember when I first started buying phones, running ads. The next when I woke up, I had 17 new messages, which isn't a lot. But back then, I got overwhelmed with those little 17 messages, and I was excited, like, oh my God, I can't believe. And it goes back to what you were saying. This is an Apple product. This is technology. Everyone has it. Whether we're offering cash to someone who wants to sell us a phone, that's another need. Cash. That's another aspect that's important in our business. The ability to give people cash in the spot for their new or used, cracked or finance or whatever phones is a big plus. Aside from it already being one of the number one brands worldwide, everyone has an Apple. You go to South America, you show the Apple logo like this. Whoa, you're Mr. Big Shot. Excuse me, who are you, executive? So that's why this business is the shit, excuse my language, but it really is.
Completely.
You make money quick. And look at your experience. You couldn't handle it, and that was your first time trying to, you needed a taste of more. Because you get a little bit of taste of success and you just get an addiction, and it becomes like a game. Like,
Yeah,
do it every day, no matter where you are in the world. This is number one brand worldwide. So
100.
when you took my course, how was that experience? Was it easy to navigate, easy to digest? How was
Super,
it?
super, super easy. It's short, concise. I watched the videos. You talk about everything I needed to know.
Perfect, perfect. I love to hear that. Because I mean, that's how I learn. I'm a visual learner. That's why I try to build the videos and make it more of a guide. Like, hey, you click this, then you click that, then you type this, and that way it's easy for everyone to understand. So the question I want to ask you, because I have it in the notes, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. How long you been phone flipping? Let's just go through the questions. How long you been phone flipping?
So I've been phone flipping for 6 days.
6 days.
No, actually, technically 5 days. This is my sixth day.
Okay, okay, awesome, 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 awesome. And how long did it start? How long did it take you to start earning money from the moment you took my course?
18 hours, between 12 and 18 hours, not even a day.
Guys, he's telling the truth. I have the screenshots of the conversation.
Oh God, swear to God. This is
I couldn't believe it. So I wanted to get him on because he's one of the few people that's extremely enthusiastic. I mean, look at him. He's has a bubbly personality, right? So he's a real go-getter. He's out there talking, hustling, and making things happen. And that's how you got to be in life, right? You got to go out there and go get it. So that first deal that took you 18 hours to get, how much
yeah.
did you earn? How much profit did you make on that first deal?
I made one Benjamin, cold hard $100 bill profit
Yep.
off
And I
of
always tell you guys, on average, you're gonna make $100 profit per phone that you flip. Sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it'll be less. But I always tell you guys, don't go in so aggressively when the customer initiates that first, hey, I want to sell my phone to you. Try to pay them a little bit more than you normally would. So when they come meet up with you, you're able to deduct on them. I do that all the time. Is the phone in great condition? I'm very bland. I'm not very vague with it, in other words. Is the phone in good condition? Yes. I don't ask if it has 1,000 scratches or nicks or dings on the frame. If the camera's lenses are good, if are there any cracks or nicks on the camera lens, I don't ask any of that. Is it in good condition? They bring it over, and I start seeing little nicks here and there, dings on the frame, a bunch of pocket. Remember, a lot of people have the bad habit of putting their keys in their pocket with their phone in the same pocket, scratch stuff. So I find things to deduct on. So it's not hard to make $100 profit of phone. It's just how you go about getting it. Some people may not want to hear your offer. Because if you try to buy a phone for 400 because you sell it to your wholesale buyer for 5 and you offer them 4, they may not want it. But whatever. I teach more of that in the training. I don't want to talk too much about it because I get hyped up talking about it. So in the 5 days that you've been phone flipping, all
Mhm.
together, this is your first week. You've never done this before. Well, previously you hit the jackpot on a job with these old devices that you were able to sell. How much have you made in the past 5 days?
I've made $300 profit.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, look, I'm not gonna put a title of new student makes 10,000 in 1 week. That's not realistic. We're realistic here, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone makes a different amount their first week. Remember, this is the first time you're diving into something. You're not expected to know everything. You're not expected to even feel comfortable doing half the stuff that we're doing. I know when I first started, I was nervous about running ads, facing the ad managers. The ad setup made me nervous. Then meeting up with customers. I got nervous when I was inspecting the phone. I would take longer than I should. My hands would get sweaty. Not a big deal, but in your mind, you're nervous because when you first start, you're limited on capital. You don't want to get burned on this deal. You look at this phone like, should I really buy it? And you try to just hold on to it and hold on to the customer some a little bit longer because you're just trying to just double check that you don't get effed in this deal. But hey, man, look, you made 300 and you just started. What's next week looking like? What's next month? The next 6 months? You're an ambitious guy. You're just
Yeah.
getting started. And how old are you, by the way?
I turned 22 yesterday.
22 yesterday.
Yeah. So I think that based off of the amount of money and momentum that I gained in a time span of less than a week, I think that as time goes on, I'm going to start getting more phones. So that way I'm going to start making more money as time goes on. So in 6 months, my hopes is to follow in your footsteps and start doing wholesale and then sell to buyers overseas. And yeah, that actually reminded me of a great source of inspiration that Jeff gave me. So I remembered it was a Friday. It was the day before I found the electronics gig, and I was texting with Jeff because so I told Jeff, hey, so yeah, I'm in this job. I really need the money. Is this iPhone thing really gonna work? And I remember Jeff kept reassuring me, like, yes, yes. And then he sent me one picture of an invoice of $170,000. And he's like, yeah, I I made this in like November. This is what my wholesale client sent me. So then I thought, wow, if that is possible, then I will definitely be on board the iPhone wholesaling train.
Look, that's how you got to get into it. Look, gratefully, you guys have me, and I can give you that direct access to that line of connection with the overseas buyer because I've already went through everything. But when I first started, it wasn't as easy, right? I'm gonna tell you how I started selling overseas. By luck, because I'm Colombian, this Colombian guy I knew, his uncle just so happened to be coming to the US during Black Friday season for the P. This must have been this is probably like 5 years ago for the PS4. And they were selling the PS4 for 200, and they needed a bunch of runners to pick up as many PS4s as possible. They'd give us cash, they'd give us credit cards, and we'd go crazy. I'll send you pictures right now. And I'd pick up I would load up 3 shopping carts for the PS4s, and at the end of the day, I would go bring them back to him, and he'll give me my commission. And I asked him, "What do you do with these?" "Oh, I move them back to Colombia. How much you sell them for?" "Anywhere from 5 to 550." I'm like, "What the hell? Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm making like a little bit over 100 profit each phone after fees and taxes. It's a good gig, but think about it. I can send you this picture. You can count them yourself. There must have been 70 to 80 PS4s that we bought. We were 2 cars deep,
Mm,
right? So imagine that, bro. Imagine that. And then that's how I got introduced to him. And then he introduced me to other wholesale buyers that buy phones. Because I told him, listen, I also buy phones too. And I can get iPads, MacBooks, whatever you need. Because if you're looking for PS5s, you might as well get some phones. Because I know they're worth something over there. And then we got hooked up, plugged up, and the rest was history, right? I started meeting more and more guys. Then I met a Dominican guy. Then I met a Central American guy from Guatemala. Then I met a Brazil. I mean, and little by little, you finally get there. But the fact that you have me, you can bypass all of that and go straight to the jackpot and start making
mm,
money with these overseas buyers. That's why it's good to be connected with certain
right.
individuals. I'm glad that you gave me a plan, right? I was gonna ask you, that's my next question. I was gonna ask you, where do you see yourself in the next 6 months to a year? And you just pretty much answered that. Now, my last question. Well, no, not my last question. I forgot to ask you this question. How many hours of physical work did you put in between running the ads and meeting up with the customer?
4 hours.
300 bucks, 4 hours in that week. And it's believable. It's very doable because, guys, listen to me. There's gonna be times, I know you can't believe it. You're gonna run an ad tonight, right? Tomorrow morning, you may start having people hit you up saying, hey, I can meet you up around noon, right? So you do nothing in the morning. Well, there's nothing to do, pick up in the morning. You meet up with them at noon, you pick up one phone. Then someone else hits you up and say, hey, I have another phone I want to sell. You meet up with them at 3 p.m. And then you buy the phone quickly, then you meet up with someone else at 4 p.m. Let's say you picked up 3 phones in one day. When you really get down to it, you start thinking about it. How long did it take you to drive to where you met up with the person? How long was interaction? Because checking the IMEI and SIG-W takes less than 20 seconds. And then
Yeah.
inspecting the phone physically and internally, bro, you're looking at less than 5 minutes to do overall inspection on the phone, determine how much you're gonna pay on it. So you
Yeah,
could put 3 phones and make $200 to $300 in one day and only have worked a total of an hour and a half.
that's right.
That's how it really is. This is why I tell you guys, offer them more over the phone, get them to come to you so you're not wasting your time and gas going to places. And I could mention you guys all day on this subject. So the last thing I want to ask you, if there's anyone that's on the brink of buying my course or on the fence or uncertain, what would you advise to someone who's thinking about joining my coaching?
I mean, brothers and sisters, if you're thinking about joining this course, I have never done this before. Within not even a week, I made more money than the course costs. How can you refuse that? If the opportunity is there, at least take advantage of it. God has blessed you by coming across this man's YouTube channel. Literally, just take the free call at least. Book a call, take the call, ask him any questions you want to ask, any doubts, any concerns that you may have, and Jeff will address it.
Thank you, Vusal. I appreciate you coming and sharing your experience with us. Guys, if you have any questions, click the link down below and book a call with me. It is free and I don't rush you off the phone. However many questions you have to ask me, I'm more than glad to ask them. Once again, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you for coming on tonight and taking the time out of your day to make this video.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, take care. Catch you in the next video, guys.